Hey guys, welcome back for another complex combo with your girl, Sonia B. That's me. For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. You come here, we talk about those things that people are least comfortable talking about, and I ask for your opinion. For those of you who have already subscribed to my channel, I welcome you back. So glad you came back to see what I was talking about, because I have a topic that I was almost a little bit apprehensive to talk about. What could that be? I don't know. We'll get into that in just a second. If you are new to my channel, please click subscribe below. I also ask that if you like the topic, you leave a comment in the comment section below. That's how we get to talk about these things. Hence a conversation, right? All right, let's get into it. I asked 4 different men. I asked 3 male friends and my brother, my older brother, their opinion on this, because I can't speak on a male's perspective because I'm not a man. I can, however, bring the female perspective, and I've spoken to at least 3 females about this topic. So this is not my opinion. This may be a little extra for some people. So if you are not here for that, you can go ahead and stop watching now, but we're going to talk about it. The topic came up in a conversation with a girlfriend of mine as to why men today seem to choose what we call hood rats. Now, I do want to put in a little disclaimer that just because someone is called a hood rat does not mean that this individual is stupid, by no means. I know some highly educated individuals who have hood rat tendencies. So we'll just put that there. So again, the topic, why do men choose hood rats as opposed to the business-driven, independent woman wanting to build things and relationships? Again, I said I've polled several men and I talked to a few women about this topic. From a male's perspective, what I've been told is that while most men are very confident in the type of women that they talk to, they are most comfortable talking down to a woman as opposed to a woman at or above their level. And when I say talking down, the intention was not that they talk down to demean them, but it's easier to talk to a lower caliber woman than it is to a woman who has some education or experience or knowledge behind her. That's what I was told. And he also mentioned that he had this conversation about this particular topic not too long ago with some friends while they were hanging out at their cigar lounge talking like men do. And the question that they asked each other was, why is it that the women with the big booties are the most ratchet? While I can disagree with that, speaking for myself, because I have a big butt, but I'm not ratchet. I could probably do some ratchet things, but that's just not my get down, right? And let's define what we mean by ratchet. This is an individual whose standards are pretty low when it comes to the man. She's okay with him stopping by the crib, bringing her a bottle of Hennessy, dicking her down. There's no strings attached. It's easy. Because she is aesthetically pleasing, she is most often the one that the man wants on his arm, like eye candy. She's the one that he'll take out and wine and dine. She's most likely the one that he'll take on exotic trips because she looks good with him on his arm and therefore makes him look good. In terms of her ability to vocalize using the English language, that's questionable. Is she ready and willing to pop off at the drop of a dime? Probably. These are some of the things that we're using to define ratchet. So in talking with my friend, he went on to say further that most often than not, you'll see this woman at the gym working out. She's taking care of her body. And that's not to say that women who are not considered ratchet don't take care of their bodies. This is merely the information that I was given when discussing this question. But she's at the gym, she's working out, she's wearing those yoga pants all day, every day. And you can say things to her like, hey, you know, I like that ass. And she'll, you know, give you some play. She'll give you the time of day. But it boils down to this. She just looks good. She's nice to look at. Men are physical beings. And as a woman, I get that. I understand that. You know, you got men who like nice breasts. Got men who like nice asses. Whatever the case, they are looking at the physical. They are not looking to know what's in your head, how you think. And then also, as I talked to these three gentlemen, I was told that professional, independent women, we require a lot more depth of the men that we talk to. And quite frankly, this particular man who desires this ratchet type woman doesn't want the challenge of dating a woman who wants to make him think or challenges him to think or to progress further than where he is at that time. I get that too. However, on the flip side of that, as a woman who prides herself on her education, not necessarily status in my employment, but women like me who want to date a man and they want some type of upward mobility, they want to build together, they want to grow and travel and do those same things that, you know, the other ladies are privy to, just simply based off of the aesthetic. It tends to leave some of us thinking that, you know, we are not winning. There's no way that we can win, you know? So I'm wondering if some of you watching this are thinking that. But I'll continue on. One of the gentlemen also went on to say that men have more options. And depending on the man, he wants the easy pussy. I said it. That's what he wants. It's easy. And if I were to sum up everything that every man that I talked to said, it came down to those two of those things. Men are physical creatures. They want something that looks nice. Depending on where he is mentally in his life, he wants what's easy. Fast and easy is the way to go. For some, not all. I then explained to one of my friends that I personally felt that statistically, the pool that women have to choose from today is limited. And what limits us in this pool is that in this pool of men, we have a small subset that I call them the unavailables. Whether they're unavailable because they're already married, they're unavailable because they are incarcerated, or death has eliminated them. That's lowering the number of men available to us women. Or they are gay, bisexual, or part of the LGBTQ community where a heterosexual woman, is not considered something that they would desire. So that's my list of unavailables in this pool. Those that remain available in the pool, depending on where they are mentally in their life, they don't want the 45 and up woman. They want the younger girl who looks good, who isn't looking to grow with him, doesn't have much expectation of him. So therefore, we're limited. Now, those are my statistics. That's what I'm saying, that the pool is limited. The pool that men have to choose from is much greater. There are more women than there are men. So the ratio, I'll say there's 3 women for every 1 man. So if one won't do, the other 2 might. And then I was told something interesting as well. Actually by one of my friends and my brother. That the person that this man chooses, if he chooses this Hoodrat, says a lot about him. And at first I was like, what are you saying? You know, I couldn't really subscribe to that school of thought. But then my brother explained to me, well, if a man desires that type of woman and he's always picking and choosing and leaning towards that woman, he's got a little bit of that hood in himself. I was like, okay, I get you. I understand that. But the same can be said for anybody, for women. A lot of the people that we choose instead of being chosen says a lot about you. Sometimes we pick, when we're broken, we pick broken people, and then we expect him not to be broken, etc. And then ultimately you just like what you like. That's not to say for us women that don't desire a hood rat man or don't exude hood rat traits that we're left out in the cold. My first initial woman response in my emotion, I'm like, a woman like me stands no chance. I'm just not winning. And I don't really think that, but that was just my first thought. I had to remove my emotion from this particular topic because it's not something near and dear to me personally, but it is a conversation that I've had in my group of friends. But a man who's dumb enough and does not have enough discernment about himself will, let's say he's just in a phase and he wants this ratchet woman, but he has no intention to grow with her, build a home with her, marry her, have children with her. But if you raw dog this woman, you run the risk of now being stuck with her for at least 18 years. Do men think about that? I know it's purely physical, but is there any part of your logic that says, I probably don't want to do this if this is really not what I want to be stuck with? And I've been told too that, this is just for the moment. This is fast and fun. There's no longevity in it. And I get that men grow up. I have 3 sons, so I understand men grow up and they look at magazines, they look on TV, the videos, porn, movies, etc. And everything that's pushed on them is pretty and pleasing. So it's the aesthetic, it's the physical. So therefore it's ingrained in them as men that this is what you want. This is the ultimate prize, to have this pretty, nicely shaped thing with big boobs and round ass. But when does the reality ever push that things like that don't last? I believe there's a statistic that says men, when they grow older, they become more handsome, versus a woman, the older we grow, and for lack of a better phrase, we tend to get ugly. So we have this woman who is pretty, whether naturally or enhanced, and young. But when she ages, does she age gracefully? But then again, like I was told, depending on the man's age, where he is in his life, did he just get out of a bad relationship, a bad marriage? Did he go through some traumatic relationship situation? So he's not looking for anything permanent. So he will lean towards that type of woman. So maybe when he's older, he's more mature, he's lived his life, he's sown his wild oats, he now wants someone with some substance. Something to think about. And another thing I was told when I asked this question is that, women, black women, and specifically I was told this, that black women get a certain age and they adopt this mentality, I am the way that I am and I'm not going to change for anybody. You either take me or you leave me. And so in turn, you have a group of women you see oftentimes on vacations, girls trip, tend to be a group of those women who don't have any type of flexibility in their thinking. And that's possible too. I can't speak for all women, just like I can't speak for all men based on the small sample that I polled. But, we do have some things that we need to work on, women. My brothers are the thought that, a lot of the women who find themselves on the flip side feeling as though, they're not on the winning end and are prone to be single because they feel like they're challenged or they're competing against this younger generation of women, which is absolutely absurd to me. But women who subscribe to that way of thinking are shooting themselves in the foot because, they'll dress up real nice and grease their face up, as he says, step out, and the moment a man either gives her a slight hint that he's hitting on her or even looks her way, her nose is immediately turned up in the air. So a lot of times that's why men choose the way that they choose, because it's hard to get past that shell. And I get that too. Now, everything that every man that I spoke to made absolute sense to me once I removed my emotion from it, because I started to take it personal. Well, no, I'm not in the gym all the time, and no, I'm not a 36, 24, 36. But I'm like, wait a minute. What I once was versus who I am today, physically, it's for various reasons. And while I'm not a Meg Thee Stallion or a Cardi B or whoever, these young men find aesthetically pleasing today, a lot of women like me who have substance, who desire more than, being treated on trips and taken out for drinks and being arm candy, desire real substantial relationships that we grow together mentally and physically and financially. It really just depends on where we are in our life. There are some women who subscribe to the same school of thought. They want a man to look a certain way, and they won't date or fool around with anyone that does not fit this particular physical mold. But at some point, we all grow up and we all get tired of playing games, and we start to look more than just at the outside. But hey, like I was told, men are physical. Some women are, some are not. Some are looking more spiritual and mental than they are physical. But it just depends on where you are in your life, I guess. So girls, when I asked this question of the man, it was to gain a little bit more insight on what men are possibly thinking when they make a choice to lay down with woman A versus woman B. That's not to say, woman B, you need to compare yourself to woman A, because depending on where these individual men are in their lives, you just may not be it. And that's okay. My mother told me there's a glove for every hand. So if you're like me, you'll wait for that glove to fit your hand. I would like to know what you think below. Please feel free to comment. Be respectful, please. This was not an attempt to male bash, but just to shed some insight and answer a question asked amongst girlfriends. Why do men choose the hood rat? Until next time, it's your girl.